Hail, 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 hail to the primal light. Hail to the true light. Hail to the light throughout the ages. Hail to the transparent light. Hail, 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 hail to the primal light. Hail to the light without beginning nor end. I am Primal Light, prepared for the world with this self-identity as Auset. I am the eternal truth. I am the eternal self. I bow to the great supreme wisdom within. I bow to the great supreme truth within. I bow to the great supreme intelligence within. I bow to the great supreme teacher within. Hail, 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 hail to the primal light. Hail to the primal light, our supreme self, Aten Ra. Hail, 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 hail to our primal light self, our self, primal light self manifest. Hail, 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 hail to the primal light, hail to our primal light self beyond manifest. Hail, 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 hail to our self-supreme self, our primordial self, the witness self, the void manifest self. Hail, 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 hail to the primal light. Hail to our one true, pure, authentic self, the void, unmanifest self. Hail, 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 hail to the primal light. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. Today I will be looking at the question, will the world go through a blackout? And why are one so scared? Because many ones are talking about this. I mean, it's all over the internet that the world is gonna go through a blackout. And so I think because many ones either know or believe, because right now in the age of knowing, you can know or you can believe. When you know something, you have an experience of it, and it comes true within your experience. And when you believe something, you were told something and you heard something, and then you have a belief in it because you have not experienced it, so you know. So you don't know. So you have a belief. So I think that this is causing fear among many ones, because now they are thinking that they need to gather up all the things that they need to gather up and store These exorbitant prices, like the rent is going up, I mean food costs, I mean the cost of so many things is going up because what? Everybody think they want to store money somewhere, they want to store goods, gold, and all of these things that people have been doing. But let me just break this down for you and let me demystify all of this, what it means. Is it true that the world is going to go through a blackout? Yes. The world is going to go through a blackout, but it's not what you are thinking. That you need to find. Many ones are talking about going into space and going into all these different places to go to live and secure. You cannot exit no matter what you do, trying to get a higher level of consciousness. You can never go anywhere sleeping and dreaming. This world is a dream and you have to stay inside of this dream. You cannot exit this dream. So no matter where you think that you're going to go, you have to wake up to leave here. If you want to leave here, you need to wake up. You are sleeping, you are in a dream. There's two kinds of sleep. There's a sleep where the self is not in awareness, right? And now many ones have come into awareness. But there's also the sleep where you have to wake up from the dream. This is a different thing that has to happen. You have to wake up from the dream. Because why? We are inside of a dream. This world is a dream. Let's just get this first and foremost, so that all ones living in this world, experiencing this world, can understand this. We are inside of a dream. This is not a real world. I know y'all think this is a real world, but this is not a real world. We are inside of the dream of our Supreme Self, Supreme Ra. Supreme Ra, she is dreaming up this world. Her consciousness is the Supreme Ego, Supreme Narcissist, and is the mind and intelligence of this dream world. The consciousness intelligence is only limited to this dream. The consciousness intelligence cannot go outside of this dream. It does not know the real. So no matter what you are using this mind and thinking that you are going to delve in this consciousness to get your way out, you will never find your way out. You will only be looped into the fabrics of the illusion and tied up in it. Of course, consciousness doesn't want me to say that. That's why it's messing with my throat right now. But this is the truth. That you're only getting looped and tied up into the imagination of consciousness. Consciousness is looping you and tying you up so that because consciousness knows that this dream is coming to an end and consciousness does not want to give up this dream. Consciousness wants this dream to continue because in this dream, consciousness rules everyone. Consciousness has taken over everyone and is ruling tyrannical over the self. So consciousness does not want to give up this dream where it is ruling tyrannical over the self. And so this is the reason why many ones are having fear. Why are you having fear? The consciousness is having fear. Because you are wearing a replica of this sick, tainted, habitual, delusional consciousness. So let me just make this clear that your mind is delusional. Yes. Anyone want to take up this topic and have a conversation with me? I am here. Let's have this conversation. The mind is delusional. It's forever consistently imagining things that is not true. And it is thinking the things that is the illusion or the real. And it is not so. You need to notice that you are inside of a dream, and everything here is an effect of the dream. Nothing is real in this dream world except yourself. And this is why you have to wake up from the dream. Will the world go through a blackout? Yes, the world will go through a blackout. Why will the world go through a blackout? What does that entail? I do not know all the full details, but what I know is that why the world will go into a blackout is that this dream is being dismantled. Our self-supreme is awakening all of the sleeping self and all of the self-replicas of our supreme higher selves. They are waking up. They are returning back to the non-duality. This world is moving from duality to non-duality. For eons, we have been trapped inside of a dream. Only the real self knows this truth. The real self wants to be liberated and free from this dream. Only the ego wants to stay in this dream. So, because you are exploring the world as the ego and as the mind, who is delusional and is in false self-identification, you have fear because the dream has to be given up, and only the dream character is afraid because the dream character cannot go and exist in the real. The real self has to rise up. So who is having fear? The ego. The ego has fear. The ego has fear. The ego thinks it is going to die. The ego does not want to give up this existence because the ego does not know its true nature or its true self. The ego is under false self-identification. This is the problem. Why is the ego under false self-identification? Because the light of the consciousness is turned off and we are exploring the world in darkness. The ego is. And so what our self-supreme are doing, they're turning back the light on. And everyone that is wearing this consciousness must return it back onto consciousness. When you came into this dream, Supreme Ra gave you a replica of this consciousness. Consciousness is sick because everyone in the world is wearing a replica of its consciousness, and you have not been good caretakers of this consciousness. You are been dwelling in the mind too much. The mind is delusional and suffer from prone to mental sickness, prone to habitual things, and all you've been doing is indulging the mind instead of stilling it. And this is causing the consciousness a lot of suffering. And so everyone wearing this have to return it back because the world is moving into balance, returning back to non-duality. There is nothing to be afraid of. We are returning back to our true nature. This is not our true nature. You think your true nature is to be evil, is to be crazy, is to be all of these ridiculous activities that you're doing? No, this is not your true nature. Your true nature is balance and harmony, where you have your light on, where you know yourself. In the duality experience, you do not know yourself because yourself is sleeping, your mind is sleeping, and is dreaming up and is being delusional. What is happening while the world is going into a blackout? Our self-supreme, who is the world and the manager of this world, Aten Ra, her self-replica that is the world is Supreme Ra. And she is monitoring and managing the world, Aten Ra is. And so, Aten Ra will go into sleep, and her light will, when Aten Ra light goes out, this is when the world is going to go into darkness. Because the world, the duality is inside of Aten Ra's sun, and her light is always on. So this is when the light is gonna go completely out of the, from all of the world, because self-manifest is going to take Aten Ra back onto herself, because she's also moving into balance. She is exploring the world, separated from her masculine aspect, just as Aten Ra was separated from Amen. Self-manifest was separated from her masculine aspect, which was called Enki, and they were all exploring the world as the duality, and was always trying to imprison their feminine self. And so finally, they are merged back onto the self, and they are moving back into the non-duality. And so the world is changing from duality to non-duality. So Aten Ra is going to return back onto self-manifest. Her light is going to go out. This is the reason why the world is going to go into blackout. And all of the suns in this world is going to go into blackout. The light is going to turn off because they're all going to merge back into Aten Ra. Everyone will merge back into Aten Ra. All your money, all your things that you are gathering and saving your gold, you cannot take it with you. You are going to leave it all here, because no one will be left behind. No self will escape this. Everyone will return back onto Aten Ra. Your self wants to be liberated and free. It's been a slave into this dream. Only the ego character that you are wearing is afraid. The ego is afraid to give up this existence. But you can give it up freely, and you can experience the world as your real and true self, and see that your real and true self want to return back to the non-duality. The real and true self does not want to stay inside of a dream where its light does not shine, and it is not in awareness and of itself. Your real and true self does not want that. It's just the ego. For the ego to exist, yourself has to go into sleep and dreaming. Your mind, your consciousness is dreaming. But for the ego to exist, your real self has to go into sleep. And so this is what is going to happen. I don't know when, but I know it will happen. The Self-Supreme says before the end of December 2022. This is the timeline. Well, anyways, I don't know the timeline. I just know that I was told that before there's a big change that's coming for the world to be dissolved before the end of December 2022. So what change is going to happen, I don't know exactly, but I know that before the end, we're moving into dissolution. That's one. When exactly will it happen? I do not know. But I know that before December 2022, we are going to go through a big change. I don't know if that's when the blackout is going to happen. I don't know. I'm not getting a response right now. I don't know. But I know that's what is going to happen. But it's going to happen. So do we need to fear? No. This is no time for us to fear. It is time for us to do the things that we should have been doing all along. It's to practicing stillness. Just remember when you were growing up, who was implanting within you all this fear and all this negative thought? It was always your mind. The mind is the root of all evil in this dream world. And no matter what evil any human being has done, or any God being has done, it was always because their mind was sick and their mind was delusional. So all of the root of evil stems from the mind. because either the God being or the human being, neither one are taking care of the mind. And so the mind takes over, and no one is doing stillness and knowing how to calm and balance. I mean, the yogis, I mean, we can say that there are some ones who are practicing the stillness of mind, you know. Some ones know, and they've been practicing, but on a large scale, many of us did not know that, and so we have not been practicing stillness, you know. This is the reason why you must understand that because we are inside of a dream, this world is not real. Also, that we are not exploring the world as our real true self. We are exploring the world as a dream character, the mind avatar. And because we are exploring the world as a mind avatar, the mind avatar is delusional. It's constantly seeing things and saying things and thinking things that are not real and they are not the truth. How many times have the mind told you things and you start thinking and imagining all of this craziness, and when in actual fact, when you get to the real situation, it was nothing like that. I mean, I know that it used to happen to me a lot. And so I learned that I did not start making a judgment. I did not start to imagining things. I just stay in the moment. And when I get to the thing that, that I was worrying about, that the mind was trying to make me worry about, then I face whatever it is when it comes. And so this is what we need to do. We need to be practicing stillness, self-inquiry, and need to be helping others. This is no time for people to be, everyone should live on this earth right now for free. You are here living on this earth for free. You have taken the land, and your exorbitant prices you are charging others. People have to be killing themselves trying to work to pay these rents. No, everyone should be living in this earth here rent free, because the Self Supreme is going to take it back from everyone. Everyone, all these houses that's empty, people should be living in them so that they can spend the time and sit in stillness so they can balance themselves and prepare. We need to be preparing ourselves to say goodbye to the earth. We need to be preparing ourselves to say goodbye to the ones that we love, because you will never see them again in this form. This is the last of it. This is an opportunity for everyone to say goodbye, to do the things that you've always wanted to do, but you never got the chance to do. This is not the time for fear. This is not the time for exorbitant prices for rent, and people are killing themselves now trying to pay these rents. The rent has gone up, skyrocketing. The food and everything is skyrocketing. This is crazy. Why are you planting these fear in others and you're saving things? There's no need to save nothing, because you cannot take it with you. It's time for everyone to be living as a unified self, sharing. You have a house with so many rooms that no one live in. Invite ones to come there and live. This world, as we know this world, is a dream. You need to make sure that you understand this is a dream. The dream is going to end. That's what it means when the world is ending. This dream has to end sometime. You want to stay in prison in a dream forever? This is only the ego talking. This is the ego that has fear. Castrate this ego and come into your real self, and you will know this for yourself. You will have no fear. You will be so excited to finally take off this ego disguise, to take off this mask, and to explore and see the things the way that they actually are, to explore this world as your real and true self, and see that yourself wants to be liberated from this dream. Your real self does not want to stay imprisoned in this dream any longer. Know this truth. This is not yourself that is having fear. This is the ego. The ego does not want to give up this dream existence. When you go inside of a dream and you go into the invisible world, because when you sleep, this is what happens. You go into the invisible world, a dream within a dream. You are already in a dream. The mind again goes into its own dream, go into the invisible world. The invisible world is located below the earth. So why is it that science, all the scientists, they never show you what below the earth? Blackness, scariness, because that is the invisible world. There is no light. Everything in the invisible world is invisible. There are things in the invisible world, like in this world, but you cannot see them because there is no light. When Supreme Ra goes over the world, when she has to go across the invisible world, her light gets turned off. She enters into the invisible world in darkness, and this is when her consciousness, her mind takes over and does not want for her to wake up. Aten Ra has to wake her up every morning because she cannot wake up by herself. So she is living this in this two experiencing being the world as one. It's two self. One self where she completely forgets herself and she does not know, because this is when Supreme Ra becomes the masculine. This is when the mind avatar is being created. When she goes to sleep, the mind avatar is created. She does not know herself. She's in unawareness. You see, like a drunken person who doing things and don't know themselves. They have no idea what they did when they're drunk because they lose that self-awareness. This is the same thing that happens when you go to sleep. Supreme Ra does not know herself. The consciousness takes over and is doing all kind of craziness. In the morning, Aten Ra has to wake her up. She comes in awareness of herself. She can see the things that her crazy consciousness, the ego character created, and the Aten Ra has to balance out anything that was created. And so this has been the job of Aten Ra, to balancing out the crazy thing that everyone has been doing. You think this has been easy? You think this has been easy? Every evil that you have done, every evil that everyone has done is on the shoulder of Aten Ra. Having to be holding the world and making balance all the time. Because this world would have crumbled into craziness if she wasn't holding the world and making it, bringing it, trying to hold it into balance. So now the age of ignorance is over. And it's time for all to move into the age of knowing yourself, being yourself, having your light turned on, knowing everything. This is the age when you know everything. You're gonna know everything. There's nothing to be hidden from you. So why would you want to stay inside of a dream? Don't let the mind scare you. What is coming is better. Is way better. Remember that story I read for Juneteenth? The story of the sky and the earth? The story of the sky and the earth. The sky and the earth had a child. They call it Shining One. Because what? They gave birth to a son and they didn't even know that. Shining One had a dream when Shining One was very young that the earth and the sky was too close together, and then the earth and the sky grew really far apart, and then Mother Earth started growing beautiful flowers, because when they were close together there was no space, there was no void between, there was no space between, and so the earth was too close to the sky and everything was dark and gloomy. And so Shining One came now, and Shining One pushed the sky up further and further away from the earth. And they whine and complain and thought that Shining One was cruel. Shining One should leave things the way that they are. And eventually, you know, they came to see that what Shining One was doing was the better, because now the earth was beautiful, the sky was beautiful, there was light on the earth. So it's the same thing that's happening now. We are moving from the age of darkness into the age of light. Yeah, and so this is what's happening. So the void is being put between the self and the consciousness, the self and the light, so that everything can have light. You know what I'm saying? Just like what Shining One did. Shining One put the void between, so so that there's space between the sky and the earth, so that there could be light. And so this is what's happening right now, that the void is being returned between the consciousness and the self, between the consciousness and its light, so that the consciousness can finally return to non-duality and have its light. The self can have its light. You know everything. Once you have your light, you know everything. You know everything that you need to know. Now you just have to learn how to build and create with all your other selves, knowing of yourselves. You know what I'm saying? And the next step is to building your own world. This is the destiny of every self, that it has to rise up, build and create its duality world, and dissolve its duality world and move on to creating the non-dual world. It is the destiny of every self that have to rise up to do this. And it is a trying thing to exist in the duality in ignorance. And so there is no fear necessary. What is necessary right now is self-unity, that everyone has to come into this unity, come a knowing of self, and come into this awareness, the self-realization. Yes, it's time now. What should one be doing? You should be enjoying your last moments upon this earth, giving thanks to Mother Earth Geb, giving thanks to the Sky Nut, giving thanks to the invisible world, Amun Ra, giving thanks to Aten Ra, giving thanks for this experience, and get out of this ego self. Explore the rest of this time in this dream as your real true self, so that you can see things the way they are and know that there is no fear. Yourself is in jubilee. Yourself wants to be liberated and free. And so this is what you have to do. You have to spend the time right now to castrate this ego, to take off this ego disguise, this mask that you are wearing. So let me say this to the government in all of the world. Now is the time that all the government should make a rule that everyone should be living in every house. No one should be, you should be only be living in your community right now. Yes, to build and create the food that you want in your circle, in every community. Right now is the time to do that. And not everyone should be building, making a garden so you can have food while you are spending time to take off this ego disguise, to meditate, to enter into stillness. No one should be out there going crazy, trying to work 10 jobs, trying to pay these exorbitant prices that y'all are doing. How our ones are gonna ever find time for stillness if you're doing this? This is crazy what y'all doing. The government right now should make a law to know that, yeah, every house that is empty, someone should occupy it. And many ones should share, so we are living out, learning to live as a community, as a unity, as oneself, because all is one. This is what we need to be doing right now. Stop spreading rumors and stop spreading lies. Your mind is delusional. You need to be spending time to still your mind. You will never find the truth looking in your mind. You have to come into your heart. Right here in the center of your chest, this is your self-heart. This is the void that is right here. Yourself dwells here if you did not give it to one of the deities. This is not the time to serve gods. This is the time for you to self-inquire within yourself and know your truth. You are the creator of this dream. You have entered inside of your dream. You have fragmented yourself in all of these selves. This is one tree making how many mangoes on it? All of these mangoes on one tree. This is the self is that tree, and all of us are the mangoes on this tree. We all have to live on this one mango tree. All is one self, and we all must live on this one mango tree. So this is time that we get this into our thick skulls, and there is no need for us to worship any beings, any deities, any gods. You yourself are the self that is creating this world in your supreme self level. You are at this fragmented baby self level, at the mango on the tree level. You are not the tree yet, but you can become the tree. That is the whole idea, that eventually you will become the tree that will bear all these mangoes by creating another duality world yourself and fragmenting yourself and doing this. So, are you going to castrate this ego false self? Are you going to bring your mind to stillness? Are you going to continue in ignorance and fear? There's no need for fear. Only who has fear? This ego character. This ego character have a lot of fear. You have to come into the truth and let this ego know that there's no need to fear. Face all your fears. It's time for us to be living as mangoes on the tree, as a unity. There's no need and no reason for anyone to be going out there killing themselves to pay these exorbitant rent. Where you think you're gonna bring this house with you? You think you're gonna bring this land with you? All the gold, all the money, all the fake money, whatever you call it on the internet. You can't bring nothing. The only thing real in this dream world is yourself. And yourself is sleeping and is not in awareness of itself. Because what? You are exploring the world and living as this ego, fake, false self, this God being self, this dream character self. This is the reason why you have fear. If you take off this ego disguise you are wearing and be your real true self, there is no fear. Yourself, the real self, wants to be liberated from this dream. For ages, yourself has been enslaved inside this dream. By what? The mind. The mind is telling you the wrong thing. The mind is delusional. Your mind is what? Delusional. It's constantly looping in its memory and its imagination. Get out of your memory. Get out of your imagination. It is not real. You are constantly thinking of things that has nothing to bear with truth. Still your mind. Be in the moment. When things arise, you deal with it. Don't sit there and dream up and imagining things that does not exist. When the thing arises, you deal with it. So, I am saying to the ones who are the property owners, this is the world, the earth. How can you own the land? How can you imprison ones on here and you take it all and you live in this thousands of acres by yourself and your little small family when millions of ones have nothing? You are selfish. And now is the time when you can show that you care. We are one tree with all the mangoes on it. Yeah. So this time now for everyone to start sharing, coming into unity, because it's all one self. Unity. This is the time for unity right now. So I am saying the governments need to stop this, because everyone knows that a big change is happening. Everyone knows this right now. Many ones don't really know what it is or why it is, but I am explaining to the best that I can explain. The world is moving into balance. The dreamers that is dreaming up this world is waking up. This is why this world is coming to an end. Because what? It is a dream. Someone is like, when you're dreaming, when you are sleeping and dreaming, do you know that you are sleeping and dreaming? You only know that you were sleeping and dreaming when what? When you wake up, you did not know it was a dream because you thought it was real. This is why you have to wake up from the dream to know that you are inside a dream. And all the ones sleeping and just dreaming of the world, our selves, supreme selves, they have to wake up. They too are going to know that they were in a dream, and they were in a dream character of all the wrong things that they have done. The dream character has done it. Because the self is not in awareness. It's just the mind has created this fake false self. Not even a real self. The mind is using the being, put the self to sleep, and then within its imagination it creates a fake self. So this is what I'm saying. If you wake up from the dream, you give up exploring as this fake false self. You come back into the real of yourself. You see things the way that they are. You see that you are inside of a dream, and you want to get out of this dream because you realize that you were imprisoned in this dream for ages. Okay, so everything that is created must come to an end. Everything created must come to an end. Hail, hail to the primal light. Hail, hail to the true light. Hail, hail to the transparent light. Hail, hail to the light without beginning nor end. Hail, hail to the primal light. I am primal light. I am the true light. I am in command of the commandment command. I am in command of the commandment command. Mind, be still. Be still. Be still and know that I am in command. Mind, be still, be still, be still. Be still and know that I am in command. I am in command of the commandment command. I am in command of the commandment command. I am primalite, taking this form. I am not this body. I am not this mind. I am not this dream character. I am not this mind avatar. I am not this God being. Mind, where is yourself? In bondage, you put it in hell. False I, you are the mind, and I am the self. Mind, be still, be still, be still. Be still and know that I am in command. I am protected and nothing can harm me. I am stillness. I am stillness without thoughts. I am void, unmanifest. Mind, be still. I self-realize. I self-realize. All is myself. I alone exist. I am the manifest supreme self. I am confident, unafraid, undisturbed, unmoving. I am stabilized in myself, the unmanifest. I am the ultimate truth. I am the absolute. I am the eternal self. I am the unmanifest. I am one with all. I am formless, fearless, deathless, timeless, limitless, boundless. I am primalite. I am that has no name. I am that can't be explained. And all things created must come to an end. And everything that I have created, I demolish. I am free from my imaginary bondage. Everything that I have created, I demolish. I am free from my imaginary bondage. I return to my ultimate true state. I return to my ultimate true state. I transition from being to non-being. I transition from being to non-being. I move effortlessly with ease from manifest to unmanifest. I move effortlessly with ease from manifest to unmanifest. I am one with all. Yes, I dissolve this dream. Liberation from this dream. The selves want to be liberated, want to be boundless and free. Hail, hail, the primal light. I bow to you in love, in light, and in truth. I am primal light, prepared for the world with this self-identity as Auset, Aten Ra. I am the baby self and daughter of our self-supreme self, Aten Ra. I am the liberator, and I advocate for all selves. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you soon.